I'm pretty loud most of the time, so that must be somebody who knows why.
I'm going to go closer. Oh. Go a little bit closer. Don't get in front of the camera. Move over here. This part's so small.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Elaine Brody, and I'm the administrative coordinator for this library building project. And on behalf of the Hudson Library Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this historic ceremonial groundbreaking for the George H. and Ella M. Rodgers Memorial Library. For those of you who don't know, I'm the lucky woman who got the phone call from Phil Rodgers, speaking on behalf of himself and his brother Al, offering the amazing gift of a new library to our town in memory of their parents. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be associated with this project. Our program this afternoon is brief. We'll have a few short speeches, we'll dig up some ground, and then we'll adjourn to the cafeteria of the Hills Garrison School for refreshments, where we'll celebrate not only this groundbreaking, but also the 99th anniversary of the dedication of the Hills Memorial Library. Inside the cafeteria, you'll also find brochures about the new library and ways that you can be a part of this effort. There are many people, in addition to Phil and Al Rodgers, who've worked to bring this groundbreaking today. The Hudson Library Board of Trustees, Chairman David Jelly, Arlene Creedon, Linda Kipnis, Connie Owen, and Scott Slattery, as well as immediate past Chairman John Knowles, who's now working on the plans for the use of the Hills building once the library has moved. Former building chair Jane Bowles, who with her wealth of background information is always ready to help. Bernie Manor, volunteer extraordinaire and recently named Clerk of the Works, whose excellent working relationship with the town staff is invaluable to this project. The students of the Alvern Forestry Department, including Harry Allard, Mike Buxton, Kenny Christman, Brendan Jackson, Adam D'Entremont, Mike Jensen, and Ashley Kennedy, who under the direction of their teacher Rick Martineau, felled and cleared the trees, beginning the site preparation and giving us a place to stand today. And the students of Mrs. Ballack's art class at the high school, who are making the temporary sign, which will be down by the road. Our Selectmen's representative, Sean Jasper, our architect, Richard Smith of Adams and Smith, and Michael York from the New Hampshire State Library are also with us today for this ceremony. A quality library is a measure of a community. 100 years ago, Dr. Alfred Hills announced that he was giving Hudson its first public library. The Hills Memorial Library, 99 years old this month, provided our town with both reading materials and public meeting space and has served Hudson well, but we outgrew it years ago. Phil Rodgers was actually on one of the early committees investigating the possibility of expanding the library in the late 1970s. And so, today, through the philanthropy of Phil and Al Rodgers, we stand poised to strengthen the measure of our community. Like Sean, to say a few words on behalf of the selectmen.
Thank you, Elaine. I truly feel honored to stand here today. This is a rare occasion. Obviously, it's been about 100 years since we had a groundbreaking for a library in the town of Hudson. And so few people ever get to witness such an event. And it's really hard to find the words to thank the Rodgers, the whole Rodgers family, for what they have done for this town, because it is truly a rare occasion when a family will step forward and honor a community as they have. And of course the honor goes to their parents. And again, in our society today, so often it's about me. Well, in this case, it's obviously not about me for the Rodgers. It's about honoring their parents. And again, that is a rare thing. We just saw a gift for a new business school at the University of New Hampshire this week, but that's being named for the person who gave the gift. So I think it's appropriate to reflect a little bit on the history of the Rodgers family here in town. And my wife Laurie, who's videotaping over there, did a little bit of research on newspaper archives and found some information that I thought was interesting. The Rodgers owned the old Baker Brothers building down by the bridge, which was torn down, I believe, to make room for the new twin bridges. And in that building, prior to the Hills Memorial Library being built, it housed the library. So there's an interesting connection there. So their family has been in business here in one form or another, I think, since about 1947. Another picture that she found, I think, really was also extremely interesting. It was from September of 1953. And George Rodgers was in it. Leo Dumont Sr. was in it. The Clavos, who ran the garage downtown. And Tom was a senator for many years. He was there. George Fuller, the Fuller family's still here. They've been involved for many years. My dad was in it. Ned Spalding, who was a surveyor and longtime moderator. And the sign was out on Kimball Hill Road, and it was one of 4 or 5 that was being erected for the Hudson Board of Trade. And it said, "Come progress with us." And that was really the beginning of the town of Hudson transforming from an agricultural community into the community we enjoy today. And the Rodgers brothers played a very large role in that. When I was a kid growing up, the first real development was Birchcroft behind T-Bones. That was the site of the old wind farm, one of the oldest farms in town. And the Rodgers really did a nice job making that a development that I think the people who live there today still enjoy. They had some foresight in doing that. They were involved in balancing off things by bringing industry in at the industrial park on 111. And they were also always part of being the community, part of the community. They've been involved in the Lions Club and still are, and they were instrumental in building the Lions Hall, which is today the community center. I can recall when I was about 11 years old, Webster School was a real disaster. The ceilings were falling down and the floors were buckling, and the community came together through the PTO to try to do some work where the district wouldn't. And it was the Rodgers brothers who donated the materials to make that happen. And I know there were many other times that they very quietly were donating and making things happen in this town that they care so very much about, and were so instrumental in making it the community that it is today. And so, on behalf of the town of Hudson, I say thank you to the Rodgers family, and we will never forget what you have done for us. Thank you.